Foreplay, presented by Barstool Sports. We are back. It is December. It is Christmas season, as we went over much last week, and we have been given a fantastic Christmas gift, which I will say, never in my wildest dreams, or I think anyone on this shows, did I expect to have as much to talk about on December 7th in a positive light as we have to talk about. And yes, there's much going on in the golf world. We got new information about streaming, about PGA Tour Live and ESPN Plus. We got Viktor Hovland. But mostly we have, I would say, the most positive last 7 days of a one Eldrick Tiger Woods that we could have possibly asked for, to the point where he wore yesterday a red fucking shirt and black pants to go practice on the back of a driving range in a tournament that he's not even playing in. And boys, if that's not an early Merry Christmas present, I just don't know what is.
Holy fuck.
Dude. This rollout's different than the past, I will say. Normally, It's like the Making Progress Twitter video from a couple weeks ago. That was a standard rollout. Him, like you said, being on the practice range in a tournament he's not playing in is, I love it. I really do love it. But I also can see that it is preposterous that it's happening. And it also makes you think about the press conferences and the interviews that he's been giving. He really is downplaying it and saying, like, I got to see how the leg feels. I don't know when I'm going to be playing at a PGA Tour level ever again. He's ready. Is he not ready?
And he's trying to show us that he's ready. That's
right.
The big thing, right? So he's downplaying it in the media, but then everything else he's doing subliminally is showing us that he is on attack mode. He's completely gone. He's gone
These
from
pictures
nothing.
that are coming out that are just like behind bushes, like taking a picture of this guy. It's like, dude, you're obviously playing on the back of the range. Like, everybody's going to take photos of you.
And
like,
he said
the whole thing's crazy.
in the press conference, I think last week, that he said, I don't want to be a distraction during this
Right.
week, but I am going to be hitting balls in the back of the range.
He hijacked the golf tournament.
You wore a red shirt on Sunday during a tournament you're not playing in. I love it. He is ready. He is definitely playing the PNC this week, right? He's got to be.
That's the only explanation. Otherwise, there's no need for him to be squeezing in 4 or 5 range sessions during a tournament if he's just going to take the next few months off and not play until, let's say, February, March, April. Some people are saying he might not play a PGA Tour event until St. Andrews. Obviously, everybody's guessing. But unless he's gearing up to play in the next week, there is no reason, unless he's just wants the attention, he wants everybody to know, which I hope that is the reason. I don't think that it is. There is no reason for him to be sneaking off to the back of the driving range every day, hitting drivers, hitting clubs, hitting irons, holding finishes, working on shaping shots, dressing in his fucking Sunday Tiger outfit. There's no reason for that unless he's playing the PNC in a week and a half. There's no reason that he would do that.
I think he is playing in the PNC. I mean, like, I like, those were the early reports, and I would bet, I think it's better than plus money that he play. I think it's minus 120 that he plays in the PNC.
I was so stunned to see him hitting drivers that when the PGA Tour put that video out, I thought it was an old video. I was like, people are going crazy over this video of him swinging, but it's not from today, is it? And then I did a little digging, I did a little research, and sure enough, he's just piping drivers on the back of the range at the Hero World Challenge. This dude's going to be back, and I don't know when he's going to play an actual tour event, but it's going to be sooner than everybody thinks, and we are going to have some fun with it.
Also, did you guys notice that his golf cart said privacy on it? So I assume that golf cart's just been pulled off his boat, and that's just the one that he drives around.
I guess
Did you guys notice that?
Yeah, every mode of transportation that he uses apparently is called privacy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that might just be a statement. He just, he's Tiger. He's just a little weird about stuff. I think he's trying to make a statement. Maybe he's got his own network of things just called privacy. I don't know, but everybody was kind of going crazy about that. And it was a little bit ironic that like it's privacy on his cart and he's doing like kind of a faux privacy thing by hitting golf balls in the back of the driving range when he knows everybody's going. I mean, the network coverage like led with Tiger Woods hitting balls in the back of the driving range, and you had a bunch of top 10 players in the world competing for $1 million. So again, we got a lot to get to. We got a lot to break down. Owen's Mixers, they've been a huge supporter of ours, much like we're huge supporters of Tiger Woods. They got a fantastic plethora, I guess I would say, of different mixes that you could put in with liquors of your choice, whether it's tequila, whether it's vodka, no matter what you like to drink, your cocktails with, mix your cocktails with. Owens needs to be an addition to that. Transfusion is sort of the flagship. It's the main one that we've come up with, that we've put into golf carts, clubhouses, stores, Amazon, all over the country, all over the world. Transfusion mix is just delightful. It's perfect for golf. I'm sure you're going to sneak away to a little golf trip this week, or maybe not this week, but this winter. I'm sure you're going to get all geared up whenever Tiger Woods does make his return, whether it's the PNC in a week and a half, whether it's in January, February, March. We're going to get Hawaii golf on TV shortly after Christmas, which we always get jacked up about. They're over in Maui. You're going to want a golf-like cocktail whenever you're watching that. So Transfusion's perfect for that. You can go to Amazon. You get next day shipping. GoPuff, same day shipping. Go to owensmixers.com. Check out their store locator, and you can go pick that stuff up, bring it in. They got margarita mix now. They got all kinds of good stuff. So big thanks to Owen. Trent's got some of it right in front of his face right there, and it looks really nice.
It's a beautiful can. It's a beautiful box. Get some Owens mixers. Do it.
I drank some Owens mixers at the new UBS Arena for the winless Islanders. So that was fun. It's
11?
11 in a row. It was a glimpse of hope in my life, having a drink with our logo on it at the arena that I used to like, and now at this point, it could, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything bad about it, but you know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they've never won there, right?
Yeah, we've got to do something to it. We need like the Acme brothers from the Looney Tunes to go there and just, you know what I mean? You can piece it together.
Wasn't the whole thing too like the season hasn't really started till you lose a game at home?
It's switched now to the season doesn't start until you win a game at home.
Okay. And I will say
the Blackhawks loss was brutal because they're not a good hockey club.
Yeah, they suck. They're playing a lot better actually. They had a horrific start. But I'm a little bit curious, Frankie. Which is worse, how bad the Islanders are, or the fact that the Rangers are also pretty good
on a tear?
No, it's as bad as it gets.
Or
the reason why it's as bad as it gets is because I feel like, and you can go back and look at the proof, but I don't think that I stomped on Rangers' graves enough compared to what they're doing to me now. Like, I made it a point to ignore Rangers as an organization for the last 2 years, and I thought that was like really cool. The fact that I didn't even think of them as a hockey team, never mentioned them when we didn't play them.
You don't think that's like stomping on their graves to not mention them as a hockey team?
I just didn't go after the Ranger fans. Like every time they lost a game, they were sending out fucking letters to people. I just was Islanders Nation last year. That was the team, and now roles have completely reversed within 24 hours, and people are being so mean to me, and it's like, well, you motherfuckers went through this the last 3 years. Like, you were nowhere to be found. So it sucks, but I also deserve it, and I'm going to take it humbly. Is it humbly? I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, humbly.
So I'm going to take it humbly. That's one of those words where when you say them out loud, wow, Brennan Jones came in hot just now. That's going to be one of those words. It's one of those words when you say it
Rangers
out loud,
guy.
seem right?
True Rangers guy, even though the e-bug for the Islanders.
It just sucks. And
Blues had an e-bug dress the other day.
At this point, we just don't know if you'll ever get a win. It's just one of those seasons where everything could possibly go wrong.
They can still turn it around. Like, they still have the hockey team to turn it around, but it is getting...
It's getting crazy now. So, like, if you asked me the true games that the Islanders roster has lost, it's more than I would have thought. There was a lot of games where it wasn't their team. You had Andy Andrioff and Ledoux playing against the Rangers. They had 10 guys out for 4 games.
That was number one pair back? Frankie, is their number one? Is Pelech and Pulak? Are they back now?
So no, Pulak's out for 6 weeks. He's hurt.
I don't know how bad it was over there.
Yeah, it's bad. Brock's been out. Brock didn't miss a game for 300 and something games. He's been out for 2 weeks. So it's bad.
So
you had Andy Andrioff playing hockey for the New York Islanders on like the second line when last year you had a really good... They have the roster. They're losing a little bit more games than I thought they would. Since they've been back from COVID, they've lost 3 overtime games in a row. It's just not. They're not finding the puck in the right spots.
Have you seen any of the Rangers games these days?
I've seen the Rangers games these days. Yeah,
they're a hockey team.
Adam Fox is so sick. It's crazy.
So good.
He's so good.
I've been keeping my eye on the Rangers. What sucks is it's just
a really fun wrinkle for you, Frankie, is that Dave Portnoy keeps betting the Islanders,
which is awesome. That's just
that's what you want for sure.
Are those guaranteed bets each time? Because if so, he's betting each time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And dude,
he's now chasing this one down because he's in a hole and he's like,
he's already on the streak. He's like, they have to win one. So here's the problem: is that they've been favorite every game. Because like I guess Vegas is just saying there's no way the Islanders lose again at home against the Blackhawks. Last night I think they were minus 145.
Oh god,
it's just horrific loss. So.
You're just laughing now. You're not upset. You're not sad. You're laughing.
They haven't won a game.
Kind of maniacally laughing, like
they haven't won a game at home. It's December 6th. They haven't won a game at home yet.
All right, so they got the Sens. They got the Sens tomorrow.
If they lose against the Senators, I'm dead.
The Sens is tonight for all intents and purposes. The Sens have a sneaky, kind of gritty hockey team.
But so do the Islanders. This is the thing that I'm going to end it right here. We got to talk about more Tiger Woods, but I can't handle when people say that the team sucks. That's not correct. They're playing poorly. They can't find a way to get wins. The team does not suck because the team was 1 goal away from the Stanley Cup Finals last year. And the year before that made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. So like, you can't tell me that that team with that coaching staff, with that system sucks. Yes, they are playing horrible. Maybe the worst season in NHL history, arguably. If they continue this route, it's the worst season of all time. But I will never concede to the fact that this team sucks. Like, Lou Lamoriello did not build a bad team. This is not a bad hockey club. They're just playing fucking horrible.
In your mind, what is the losing streak actually at? Because I know they've had a weird go with COVID and all that. What do you think the losing streak is actually at?
You got to take 4 losses off the board because they had 10 guys out for 4 losses.
So they've only lost 7 in a row.
So they've lost 7 in a row, 3 of them being in overtime. So they're 0-4-3 on this run. You know, you've got points out of 3 out of your last 7. It's a bad slide, but we can kind of come back. Unfortunately, it's 11 in reality, so I don't know.
They've got
someone's got to pay.
The next 10 games, I think they actually do really, really well. I think they go like 7-3 in their next 10.
They're gonna they got to go 10-0. I mean,
the teams that they're playing against are not that strong. So if they don't have a bounce back, I mean,
they're 21 points behind the Rangers. So
yeah, no,
no matter how way you slice
whatever they put on the ice, they've got a horrible.
No matter how way you slice it.
Do we just go for the first do we go for the first draft pick? Like, what do we do? Do we I don't know.
Hey,
at this point,
I don't want to make this about the Blues again, but in 2019, the Blues had the worst record in the NHL on, I believe, January 7th, and they won the Stanley Cup. So
yes.
It's December 6th.
They went on an
unprecedented
run. The Blues went on a run that no one, like, I think it was something like 30-5 or some shit like that.
Fired their coach, okay? Brought up a goalie from fucking basically like, you know, playing men's league on Long Island and won the Stanley Cup like 4 months later. So
crazy. You
never know. Stay positive. They still got a whole month to turn it around before they get to that, you know, breaking point that the Blues were at. But they fucking are playing horrible right now. So it's
worst. Yeah, worst team in the league. So
all right. We got, like I said, much to get to. We got a bunch more Tiger Woods stuff to break down. He was on the broadcast. He was doing all of his antics, which I love. A few logistical items to get to. We got Bandon Dunes episode 2, which I believe is Pacific Dunes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that the course we played second? I think it is. That puppy's dropping on Thursday. Rave reviews from, I think it's dropping on Thursday. Is that correct, E-Bug? Is he back
Thursday's
there?
right. Yeah, I was hoping.
Yes, Jake shaking his head yes.
Last time he popped in, it was chaos. It sounded like there was a fucking party going on at the office. But E-Bug did a phenomenal job with the first episode, Bandit Trails, rave reviews. So go to our YouTube page, check that out if you have not, and then gear your ass up for, again, Thursday night. Basically, these things are feature films at this point. I mean, interviews, audio from all kinds of different folks, different perspectives, footage of every shot, drone footage spliced in with this professional drone. We had people in airplanes. Like, it's just a feature film now on Bandit Dunes. So make sure that you're ready to go. You're fired up. You got your Owens Mixers Transfusion Thursday for Thursday night when we drop episode 2, and then the Arizona Bowl. So we have a little golf tourney, a little scramble. This is going to be, you know, the Barstool Classic has a little bit of a serious tone to it. You know, it's 2-man team instead of 4. People are trying to make it to a championship. They're trying to win 10 grand if they get first place, big trophy. This is going to be a little bit more of a hit and giggle, as Tiger Woods says. And it's part of a phenomenal extravaganza that the Barstool Arizona Bowl has become. You go to barstoolsports.com/Arizona Bowl and you can buy tickets, sign up as teams of 2 or teams of 4. But we've got Wednesday, and Frankie's a huge part of this. We're all going to be a big part of this, but Frankie's got all kinds of shit going on. Wednesday, December 29th, 5 p.m., we got the Buckled Bar Crawl with Dana Beers, which is going to be fantastic. Again, that's kind of that weird week where a lot of people are off between Christmas, New Year's, or at least work's kind of a joke. For us, that's usually a week off. 8 p.m., we got the Dozen live show. Thursday, December 30th, 7:30 a.m., we got the Scramble Golf Tournament. That's at La Paloma. Shout out to Lurch, which it looks like a beautiful spot down in Tucson. I haven't been to the course yet, but it looks awesome. And then 7 p.m., we got KFC Radio live show. Those guys are obviously fucking hilarious, and I heard those live shows are awesome. I think you guys have been to a few of them. I have not been to one, so I'm excited to get there. Actually, I was at one of their first ones. I think it was at the Wilbur back in like 2016 or 17. I think I was at one a long time ago, and it was really, really, really good. So pumped for that. And then 10 p.m., our little drummer boy himself and his bandmates will be doing a live pump punk show at live from Tucson, which I imagine is going to be off the charts.
It's going to be off the charts. I mean, the whole week is off the charts. The fact that you can buy packages and then it gets you into the other things. When you get a foursome or a twosome in the scramble, you also get tickets to Pup Punk and the bowl game. Am I correct with that?
That's right. You get, you get Pup Punk, you get the bowl game, you get all kinds of crazy shit. So the fact, like you said, that that's all bundled together, it's a no-brainer.
If you're looking for something to do with your buddies and you're even close to Tucson, even if you're not, and you just figure out a way to get there, it's the ultimate Barstool weekend. We have a ton of fans across the country that support us no matter where we go, whether we go to California or Boston. And this is your chance to, I was trying to do two ends of the earth there.
I was saying a couple ricochet shots, it felt like, with those two locations, but all right.
Well, no. Yeah, I was going to say
coast
LA
to coast,
or,
you know?
Yeah, coast
you
to
also
coast.
did a
see a shining sea.
I did a state and a city. That
California
was
to Massachusetts.
Yeah. But my point being is, like, we're always spread out, whether Pup Punk's in New Haven, Connecticut one day, and then KSC Radio's in Boston the next day. We're all going to be in one hub, and this is going to be the perfect example of why Barstool is Barstool this week. Like, you have a little bit of everything. The crowds are going to be insane. They're going to be into it. The Dozen live show, I think, already sold out. Yep. You're going to have live trivia, which is, everyone loves going to live trivia, whether it's at a bar or a party. I fucking love going to live trivia. I cannot wait for the Dozen. And then you have the next day golf, like just book it all, like figure out a way to book it all. It's the greatest week. Trivia, then you get golf, and then you get KSC Radio. You can laugh your ass off, and then you can rock your face off with fucking Pup Punk. It's nonstop, and then you just get to go to an awesome bowl game. Boise State,
Central Michigan.
Fuck,
you really can be a part of history.
Parachuting in.
Yeah, you can be a part of history because this is the future of bowl games. It becomes a full-on immersive experience that really only a company like Barstool can pull off. We have so many cool things going on, and if you can literally be involved in every single one of them. It's the first one of its kind. Come out, come hang out, play some golf. Like Frankie said, rock your face off, watch a football game, and have a fucking blast. It's going to be really, really fun.
And I know a lot of people are afraid of the Barstool difference, and who knows what the production's going to be. All Business Pete has to be on the sticks for what is essentially the biggest game of his life. This is a real bowl game that people have to just watch on barstoolsports.com, which is amazing. I mean, a massive stadium, cameras. I think, there's all these things that they have planned, which are hilarious. I'm not going to spoil. He's gonna have to pull this off, but well, what is gonna work are the shows prior, right? Like, KSC Radio is gonna bring the house down. The Dozen with Jeff D'Lo, he's been preparing for that for his entire life. Pup Punk, we're gonna put on a show. We played in New Haven, and a couple got engaged in the crowd while Beautiful. Love Story by Taylor Swift was playing. I don't know how she pulled it off. But when Roan says, and he goes to a knee and says, "Marry me, Juliet, you're never gonna be alone." The girl went to a knee, and now her fiance said yes. So it was fucking crazy.
Beautiful.
They came up on the stage. The whole place went nuts. They're kissing, sharing love. It was nuts. The love was in the air at Pup Punk. So hopefully we can recreate some of that in Arizona, in Tucson. Fuck, man. Pup Punk shows are so much fun. It's crazy. It's
going to be an extravaganza. There's some work stuff that we dread to a degree. And yes, we have one of the coolest jobs in the world, but it's like you got to be on, you got to be focused. We're nervous about this interview. You're trying to make sure we nail that down. You got to jump on a flight. This is just going to be pure fun for 3 or 4 days straight. Our entire company kind of coming together, all sorts of different brands. Like you said, from sea to shining sea, we got all kinds of shit going on. Now it's going to be in one town, which happens to be, by the way, Tucson, Arizona in fucking December, which is one of the best places to be in the country. So it's going to be awesome. BarstoolSports.com/Arizona Bowl. During the golf portion of it, we're going to be out there on the course all day. We're going to be messing with people, having drinks and hanging out. So it's going to be a good time. All right. Black Rifle Coffee. I got a little coffee right here. And it's absolutely delicious. These guys did a good job. If you don't know their backstory, Black Rifle Coffee, the company is a veteran-owned coffee company serving premium coffee to people who love America. Veteran CEO and founder Evan Hafer spent over 7 years on the ground overseas with U.S. Special Forces and as a CIA contractor. Evan even modified his gun trucks during the invasion of Iraq to grind coffee anywhere. So he's just committed to this and has been for a long time. Black Rifle Coffee imports high-quality coffee beans from all over the world and roast 5 days a week at their facilities in Manchester, Tennessee, and Salt Lake City, Utah. The team at Black Rifle Coffee is continually researching and experimenting with new roasting methods and coffee origins. You can go to blackriflecoffee.com/Fore, use the code Fore today and get the freshest coffee in America shipped to you. This could be a great gift for somebody in your family, a loved one, a friend. Obviously, it's got a great backstory. This could be a great gift for yourself, and this should just be the coffee that you drink all the time. We've mentioned the Rogan show. I think pretty much all of us are fans of that, especially some of his bigger interviews. And he had this founder on the show relatively recently. I listened, and the whole story is just awesome. And again, some of the folks that he met overseas while he was serving, when they actually made their way to America, post-conflict or whenever they were able to get out, he stayed in touch with them, brought them to work for him. So the whole backstory is awesome, and they make delicious coffee as well. So do yourself a favor, do blackriflecoffee.com/Fore. Use the code Fore today. You get the freshest coffee in America shipped to you.
One last little thing that I want to tie up is from Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Well, I think Cyber Monday specifically, we did a little bit of a contest or an entry thing where we said if you spent $100 or more on Cyber Monday, we were going to give away some experiences to a lucky winner. So Trent and I have an experience. Riggs has his own experience at the Riggsy Palace in Pinehurst, which is going to be fantastic. Trent and I offered up golf here on Long Island and then a dinner at Borelli's with my dad, and we're going to eat like kings, and it's going to be fucking fantastic. So I want to announce that on Thursday we'll pick the winners. I was talking to Allison and Pilar, and I think that they're generating and populating all of the people that went into this contest and the back end, and they're going to just randomly pick one winner for our experience, and I believe 2 winners for Riggs's experience.
Yeah, 2 different winners. So said winner and a group of their choice will get 3 nights stay at the Riggs Cottage.
Fuck, man. It's going to be awesome. Ours is going to be one guy with a buddy or one gal with a buddy, and it's going to be hell of a time. So Thursday, if you bought $100 worth on Cyber Monday, keep your fucking ears peeled.
Nope.
Your eyes peeled.
Nope.
Keep your ears perked.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes peeled isn't a thing to say.
No, it is. It is. I'm sorry.
Eyes peeled.
Eyes peeled, ears perked.
Keep your ears perked, and that's that. So Thursday should be a fun day.
Yeah, Thursday's going to be great. I like that. I like that we're announcing we got some big winners, and they deserve it. So many different people bought merchandise. We're rooting for all of you out there to be the winners. We've got all the names of everyone who spent over $100 on Barstool Golf /Foreplay merch on Monday once we announce the prizes, the winnings that you can get. So yeah, I have acquired a home in Pinehurst. There's a lot more information that I want to put out on it. It's been a dream of mine really since I left in tears and all of that last year. I really kind of came up with the idea of I want to try to provide this experience to as many people as possible and kind of curate it the way that I want to, because I get endless messages. I'm sure you guys get a ton of them too about like, hey, I'm doing a trip to Pinehurst. How should I do it? Where should I stay? What courses should I stay? So I've been looking for a home there for about a year, and obviously I'm going to spend some time there. But largely I want to turn it into the coolest golf cottage in the world, let people rent it out. And I figured since people support us as hard as they do, we might as well give away a couple weekends to a few of our listeners, our loyal listeners, and all that. So we're going to announce that on Thursday. You'll get much more information on the day with Frankie and Trent playing golf. Hopefully they get to meet Mr. Borelli. I hope that's a big part of it.
Yeah, if we pick you, just don't murder us. That's the only
That's the one
disclosure
rule.
there.
Yeah,
You just
and don't
can't
burn my
kill
house
us.
to the ground, please.
Because we don't know who you are, and it's a little nerve-wracking, like not vetting the person you're going to spend a full day with and golf and bring to your family restaurant and probably meet like my grandmother. So just be cool and make sure that your buddy's cool, and then we're all going to have a good time. Like
We're all
don't
going to be
worry,
alive at
Man
the
who's
end of it.
nervous right there.
no weapons, no.
Well,
none of
the
that.
thing is that like 99.999% of people that we meet are totally normal. Everyone is super cool and normal. They buy our stuff. They listen to our shows. They support us. It's great. You know, is there the chance that we pick the one guy who, you know, stabs me in the throat as soon as we meet him? It's, you know, it's certainly a
Definitely.
possibility, but I hope it
Took
doesn't
you
happen.
7 months to break 100? I'm going to fucking murder you.
Just berates me the entire golf round and then at dinner. It's like, come on, man.
No, it's going to be a good time. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it. And again, just thank you. Just now that Black Friday and Cyber Monday, we're a week removed from it. Thank you so much to everyone that did support us. I mean, the numbers are overwhelming of the amount of people that actually like our stuff. We see that with podcast numbers and videos. Like the Band and Dunes videos are already going off like crazy. But just to see it in actual dollars form that you spend your hard-earned money on us is nuts. So just another thank you, one final one before the Christmas season. I'm into the Christmas season. I'm feeling good. I have a little bit of a cheer in my heart today.
I watched Home Alone 1 and 2 yesterday, back to back.
I watched
I went
2
to-
last night. It was awesome.
I went
That
to
is
see the
just
tree.
one of the better movies possible. Oh yeah, I saw that.
I
That looked
saw
really
your
nice.
Instagram. Yeah. How
How'd
was
it
the
look?
tree? Great?
Looked unbelievable. I mean, it's a nice real tree. It's nothing
Nothing
fake about it. Nope, nothing fake about it. It's a beautiful tree. The lighting is insane. People are
How's it
skating
smell?
around.
Did you get close enough so you could smell that beautiful
You know-
live tree or no?
You used to be able to almost touch the tree, and now they
Yeah.
have the barricades kind of far. I think socially distanced for the tree. I don't think they want the tree to get COVID, so
Okay.
we'll see.
Smart. Yeah. That's
Nothing better than a good smell of a live tree, though. You know, like you just is that really nice in the house or what?
My fake tree doesn't smell. It doesn't really have a. It doesn't smell bad, but it's not the same thing.
Smells like plastic.
You're probably plugging in those little things
All right.
that disperse the smells around the apartments, and you probably bought Christmas tree one. How artificial of a Christmas can you have?
I'm done
All right,
fighting this
all
fight because I'm happy with my decision. I don't have to lash out at others to justify my position.
I'm going to say one last thing about
Here
real
we go.
versus fake. If you don't like the idea of a tree being in your house, don't go out and buy an artificial one. Just miss that part of Christmas. Like,
No,
you guys
that's
want
where
to be
you're wrong.
part of...
The
No,
reason
this is
there's-
where you're wrong, motherfucker. You don't want... You want the tree in your house, but you don't want a real tree in your house. You
No.
don't get to fucking...
He doesn't
We
want
want
to take
a
the
tree
tree
in
out
a-
of a natural habitat. Is his
No. No, we want a tree, but we don't want
Oh.
what comes along with a tree.
Then you don't get the tree experience, you piece of shit. You don't
Yeah,
get...
yeah, you do. They're just fake trees. That's like
No,
that's why
you
they make
see,
them.
you don't get to say bringing in a real tree is preposterous. Why do you want sap and needles? It's like, well, you're trying to bring a tree into your house. You just don't want the actual tree experience. You don't get to have the best of both worlds when it comes to your Christmas.
Guess what, motherfucker? Yes, I do, because
No,
I bring a
it's
fake
bullshit.
tree into my house.
You're not seeing my point, is that you think the idea of bringing a tree is so otherworldly insane because of all the things a tree brings, and then you like fabricate the tree experience because you want the tree in your house. Like, that's not fair. You have
part
to
of
go
the-
and get...
But again, I don't want to talk about this anymore. But the part of the experience isn't what you bring in with a real tree. Like I like taking care of the tree isn't part of like, oh, this is what makes it special. I just want a nice looking fake tree in there because it's part of Christmas.
It's a tree. The idea
You're saying
of
you're
having
acting
a
like
tree in
you're
your
acting
house,
like the warts that come with it are part of the experience when it's just not.
it absolutely is. That's the part that you've missed out your whole life. Getting the tree, picking out the tree, bringing it in, keeping it alive, like decorating it in a certain way, making sure that the branches all fall and like the whole family's like, oh, I thought it was going to be a little less full. This thing's really filling out. I mean, Lurch knows about that whole experience. You walk into the room, you're like, the tree looks amazing this year. It's a fun experience. It's part of the season. Don't
Lurch
tell me
was a
that's not
tree.
part of the
Lurch
season.
was a tree for Halloween one year.
That's
Don't tell me that's not part of the
That's
season.
true. It's a great Christmas costume.
Let's talk about Tiger Woods some
All
more.
right.
Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas to all.
Just said I was feeling good and you got me mad.
You brought it up.
Trent also goes like, I don't want to talk about this, and then just went on like a 30-second.
Tiger Woods. So we obviously began with a little Tiger Woods. One thing that I would like to bring up, is how in contrary to this quote, a lot of what we saw was. Tiger said earlier in the week, in terms of playing a consistent schedule in the PGA Tour and the comeback from 2017, 2018, he said, I don't see that type of trend going forward. I won't have the opportunity to practice given the condition of my leg and buildup. I just don't. I'll just have a different way of doing it, and that's okay. I'm at peace with that. I've made the climb enough times. That would be fine, but he practiced 4 days in a row to the point where he couldn't even be at the tournament as the host and not sneak off to the back of the range to practice. So again, I just am wondering, as an avid Tiger Woods fan and a fan of the game, do we believe Tiger Woods is being coy? Do we think he's being truthful? Do we think he's withholding a bit of his own personal expectations when it comes to his game and what we can expect moving forward here?
Yeah, I think he's definitely being coy. Sorry, T, go.
Definitely.
No, what I was going to say is that after that press conference that he gave, I think all of us would have been normal if he had put out a video a couple months from now of him taking another swing. Like that was maybe going to be the next time we saw him swing a golf club. But instead, he was practicing 4 out of the 5 days of the tournament. And the real indicator to me is him wearing the red shirt. Like that is completely unnecessary. But I think it's a message to all the players in that tournament. I think it's a message to everyone out there, to all the Tiger fans, that this comeback is going to happen sooner than we all thought. And I do think he's playing coy in the media. For whatever reason, I don't know what the reason for that is. I don't know why he doesn't just come out and say the leg feels pretty good and I've been taking full swings with a driver. Maybe he is trying to keep expectations low. But if he was really trying to keep expectations low...
I guess there's no real benefit to being like... Yeah, like why not just keep it low, right? Like I feel like that's the most beneficial is to keep it low.
True, but then his actions say something very different.
Right, but like some of his lines are like, yeah, I can't, like I haven't proved to myself that I can do it. Like maybe he's just in that military crazy trained mindset where he is honestly going through basically, you know, shooting 68 shots Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and like what he would wear each of those days. You know what I mean? To prove him, like, I would love to know, besides just the one-off picture or video, how regimented those training sessions actually were. Because maybe he wants to hit every swing in the book that he might hit in a round to prove to himself that his leg is stable enough. Because, yes, it's crazy to think that Tiger Woods couldn't find an indoor area to like train and practice. And this morning, we're obviously recording this today, he put out this tweet that was like a total advertisement of some swing company that like, you know, he could have been doing this inside, no problem, behind closed doors and nobody sees him. So it's definitely a game, but I mean, I guess in Tiger's life, there's never been something that's like not been competitive or where he's trying to gain an edge. So if there's whispers that are going through the PGA and all the players of like, oh, he's back, what's he doing? You know, it makes Tigers on their mind.
Do you think there's a part of him that's doing it because he wants to test himself and see how he swings in practices knowing that the world is watching? Like there's a difference between doing it alone in a silo and doing it with the whole world to see. And he kind of wants to simulate a little bit of like, these are some pressure swings. These are some pressure practice sessions. Like I need to prove to myself that even in front of the world, and if I wear the red and black, it's going to attract attention. And I can now like simulate being back in the arena a little bit.
That's what I was trying to say a little bit, like of his like military mindset of like wearing the clothes that he would Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and taking that amount of swings on those days to prove to himself that he can do it is crazy. And then to take it to a step further of like the world is now going to be watching because these are the first swings I'm hitting outside by like media. Like maybe, I don't know, you know, if he's that self-aware that he knows just all the cameras will just be on him rather than the actual golf that's being played, then that's truly amazing. But I do think maybe there is a little mindset there of like, I'm going to go prove to myself that I can do it. I can take, you know, 15 full driver swings, 14 full driver swings and play the course in my mind or something like that. Because it's preposterous. Like him on the back of the range in red is crazy when he's this private life. And it's like, all right, well now like this is insane.
Well, I mean, when Russell Wilson was like taken, right? Like he was taking basically warm-ups when they knew he was just going to stand on the sideline. I mean, this identical to that, except we're all jacked up about it. The whole internet was just roasting Russell Wilson for how preposterous that was.
It's hard to get into Tiger's head, but sometimes I think we get thrown off by, he does like to live privately. He likes to keep his personal life very private. You know, he's been successful and unsuccessful with that in the past, but when it comes to golf, I do think that there is part of him is doing what you guys are saying, because he is still Tiger Woods and he's competitive as hell and he wants to get back out there and he wants people to see him playing and excelling at the game of golf, because that's been his entire life. So I do think there is something to be said for what you guys are saying, that he is just weirdly going through the motions of a golf tournament at a golf tournament while not being involved in the golf tournament.
All right.
I think he is too.
I think he is.
The pictures, each picture cracked me up too, because they were like behind a bush, just like way up in the distance, like we spot him. It was so good. And then he's just in the most obvious spot, maybe on the course, and like wearing the most obvious clothing. If nobody else in the world wears red and black like the way he does, so it's just like, yeah, that's Tiger.
Great shirt too. It's kind of like a little had like a interesting diagonal kind of print, like a tiger, like an actual tiger. It was cool.
I will say at first I didn't like the first PGA Tour video that came out of him taking full swings, because like I said before, I like the rollout of him putting out the videos and him updating us. So I almost felt like we were spying on him a little bit with that first PGA Tour video. But then when he kept going out there day after day after day, it became obvious that he wanted to be seen. So then I started to really enjoy the videos. His swing looks pretty damn good, fellas.
I felt the same way, Trent, but then I saw our boy Dylan DeChair, who got stared down by Tiger in the presser, who he did a little research and he posted an article about it, and he wrote that video was approved by Tiger's team before the PGA Tour put it out. So there's a little game being played here, boys and girls.
Can you imagine being a player of the tournament and just looking out on the other side and seeing this red shirt and black pants guy ripping drivers back at you? Like how insane of a moment that would be if you're just a regular guy on tour trying to win this tournament. It's just a circus going on the other side. Like you can't tell me they all weren't paying attention. Like
totally.
They're not, like Viktor Hovland staring at Tiger Woods hitting balls at him, being like, that's just Tiger Woods out there.
He's the guy that won the tournament, and he watched Tiger YouTube highlights, he said, like back in high school and grade school.
Yeah.
He's about to win this tournament. I guarantee all he'd rather do would be go stand next to Tiger and see how he's doing. You know what I mean? Like he's on the precipice of winning this tournament. No, he'd rather be just standing next to Tiger and be like, how'd that one feel?
Because whenever you're at a range, there, especially at these, there's a lot of public ranges where the other side of the range will be where the teaching school is and like the really good golfers. And I've always felt like the other side of the range was a whole other world to me, where the real players go. They're looking at us idiots who paid $15 a bucket and like hitting off the mats. They're looking down on us from that other side of the range. And this was multiplied by 1 billion with Tiger Woods on his own side at his own tournament, looking at this field of guys who will never accomplish anything that he's accomplished in the game of golf. And he's just ripping baby fades and draws right at them, just acting like they're not even there. Like the tournament they're playing in is just a non-factor to him, where he's just getting ready for a father-son tournament next week. It's so mind games. It's crazy. Tiger Woods is so back when it comes to his presence on tour. He hasn't teed up a ball on tour yet, and he's already in the heads of every other golfer in the field.
Yeah, he took over the golf tournament. I mean, he hijacked it. He took it over. It became all about him, and it is his event, so maybe he did that to get more eyeballs on it. Maybe he just can't help himself and he wants to hit golf balls. Regardless, I think every single reason that we've come up with for why Tiger went through the last 4 or 5 days the way that he did are all positive. Every single one of them is positive. The fact that this man 9 months ago was driving off a cliff and almost killed himself, and that there was a few-hour period where we were all unsure based on reports if he was even alive, and then we were unsure if he's going to be able to literally walk again, if his leg was going to be amputated. And now he's out in the back of the driving range in red and black, playing mind games with the rest of the tour. It's just excellent. It's unbelievably positive. I want to highlight, too, I thought his broadcast appearances, when he sat there with Steve Sands, and with David Feherty, one of the better Tiger, I would say, interviews, kind of like chats, whatever you want to call it, with him that I've ever witnessed. You could tell, I thought, and again, you can't really compare it to what we saw at Genesis last time he was on coverage, because he was loopy and who knows what was going on, and he ended up 2 days later almost killing himself because he drove off a cliff. So clearly that's like an outlier. You don't want to compare that. This, I thought, was an outlier in the other direction, where he seemed so comfortable. He clearly likes both of those guys. He calls them Sandsy. He knows David Feherty. They've done, stuff with the military before, and veterans and all that. So clearly he's comfortable with both of those guys, and he's at his own event. But he seemed so at peace. He was so conversational with them. He wasn't doing like weird dad joke shit. He was just responding to questions. And I thought Feherty and Zay, they asked really good questions, and he just kind of was chit-chatting and basically revealing much more like the normal type of Tiger. It feels like the way he speaks to his friends, what he thought about Bryson and Morikawa. And he had a phenomenal zinger at kind of Furyk and Morikawa when he said that Kyle Morikawa, and he literally said, no offense, I don't want to bring it. He goes, I don't want to sound insulting, but in a way, Morikawa plays like an athletic Jim Furyk. Don't take that the wrong way, Jim. I'm sorry you're watching. I'm sorry if you're watching. Morikawa's longer, but he thinks methodically around the golf course like Furyk. So, I mean, him saying things like that,
he didn't want to insult.
Off the cuff.
He didn't want to insult, and then he insulted both of them in a weird way. Like
punishing blow, if we're going to be honest. Like, just
Furyk's
all the blow, not athletic, weird swing, and then Morikawa's like a little bit better than that. It's people.
No, to me, all the blow goes to Jim Furyk, because if you think about the idea that calling Morikawa Jim Furyk is being insulting is only really, really insulting to Jim Furyk. So you're calling him not athletic, and then you're saying, I'm sorry to Morikawa for even comparing you to Jim Furyk, which all just lays on Jim Furyk just getting absolutely fucking dominated by that. Like you could take, like, I don't see that as being so disrespectful to Morikawa, because Morikawa could say to himself, oh yeah, Jim Furyk does has one of the greatest golf minds and can get around the golf course, and he's just calling me that because of the way I see and approach shots. But really, everyone else is like, ooh, Jim Furyk, that's who you're comparing him to. Furyk's taking all the L's here. Every single one. I
don't know, because if you're thinking that way about how Furyk must feel, then you also have to feel that Morikawa can't be like Tiger didn't compare him to Jack Nicklaus or to Rory McIlroy. He was like, hey, kind of remind me of that Jim Furyk guy. I think Morikawa would probably be like,
that's even meaner to Jim Furyk. No, saying he's the opposite of Jack Nicklaus.
It smelled to me that Tiger saw the graphics that we all saw last week, where it was like Tiger Morikawa at this point in their careers, and Tiger's like, all right, I'm going to go on this broadcast and take him down a peg or two, because I can't be having this guy being compared to me already.
Well, then I don't like that, because then he's doing exactly what Jack does, and we hate when Jack does that.
I think, I mean, as much as
Jack comes strolling on the broadcast and talks about how hard it is for Tiger to do it, and how he compares him to all the other golfers he played with. I don't like that Tiger's falling into Jack's fucking tracks here.
We may not like it, but Tiger and Jack are far more similar than they are dissimilar.
Fuck.
Whether you're customizing an engagement ring or designing diamond stud earrings, BlueNile.com has you in complete control. You could build a more brilliant piece at a price you won't find at a traditional jeweler. Never settle. BlueNile.com. You can choose from more than 200,000 ethically sourced GIA-graded diamonds in every shape and size, with an endless selection of settings to help you create the ring, earrings, or pendant that they will love. Nile has simple online tools. They let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. So you got all kinds of options. You can do it yourself. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then build your perfect engagement ring. Each ring is one of a kind. BlueNile.com is the original online jeweler since 1999. They've helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. They're committed to ensuring that the highest ethical standards are observed when sourcing diamonds and jewelry, which is obviously important. Mark the moments that matter with jewelry from BlueNile.com, and Foreplay listeners get $50 off $500. This podcast exclusive offer includes engagement rings. Use the code FORE, that is FORE. Plus, every order is insured, ships free, and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. You can shop stress-free and find your forever piece. Go to BlueNile.com today. Use the code FORE. You get $50 off $500. Our very own Frankie Borelli is engaged. Is an incredibly important part of your life, so obviously you want to do it right. Blue Nile will help you out with that.
Yep, there's a lot of stress when it comes to getting a ring and seeing all the stuff that goes into it and all the certificates and certifications, and you just gotta be able to trust them. That's the whole diamond business, is trust. If you think about it, someone's telling you what this is worth, and you have no idea if that's true or not. So if you're going to these shady places, like you're gonna get ripped off more often than not. So Blue Nile has figured out a way to absolutely put you at ease in this experience and this time in your life, no doubt about it.
Back to a little bit of Tiger Woods. It is wild to think if you go 15 days ago to the moments before Tiger posted that video of his swing that just said making progress, to think that we are where we are now from there, and how much conjecture we did on this show. How is he going to roll out his comeback? Is there going to be a comeback? Is the next blue background tweet from Tiger Woods going to be a retirement tweet? Is it going to be announcing a new start? What is that going to be? To the point where he is now hijacking golf tournaments by sneaking off to the back of the driving range and ripping shots after appearing on the broadcast in a full golf uniform, by the way, in the ring ready uniform for golf. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think that we're at this point. It's crazy to think that we're going to, we are, unless something horrible happens, we are on an almost unstoppable trajectory of having Tiger Woods begin a PGA Tour event within the next, let's call it 6 months. And the PNC will be great. We'll get a lot of information probably about his swing speed, how far is he actually hitting the driver. Those things will be good. But we're going to have those moments where we all get geared up for a press conference on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then he pegs it on Thursday, and we're going to be super fucking nervous, and Tiger's going to step up to that tee. They're going to announce him. He's going to hit a shot, and then we're just going to be back into it where we began many, many, many years ago.
Yeah, a week ago today, the news broke on this show that he was just doing a press conference. And if you go back and listen to that audio, we were freaking out. It was ominous. We didn't know what was going to happen. And then the press conference happened, and it was about as weird as we thought it was going to be. But I agree with what you said earlier, Riggs. His TV appearances when he was just hanging, that made me feel very good, made me feel very confident. He seems relaxed. He seems comfortable. He's got a little bit of swag. So it's
seems
healthy. So many good things have happened since that podcast we did last Monday, released Tuesday. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better week, honestly.
It's been crazy how fast the news has been kind of just continuing to happen too. On that podcast, we were playing catch up, and then it felt like every video we were playing catch up on that again. But Trent, to go back to your point and Frankie's comment earlier about similar to Jack, different. I think it's actually substantially different, between him and Jack currently, because Tiger's still playing. So, Tiger's comments to Colin, potentially, if that's a little put down or a knock, Tiger still has the chance to beat him in the field. So I think that those comments come from a different place, where if Tiger's retired and saying something like that, it is wildly different. But him still playing it, I mean, the mental difference and the mental battle, I think, is so apparent in the golf world that I do think it's substantially a little bit different there.
I'd argue that you never lose that, though. We'll see,
guys, but I agree with you.
And when I say those two are similar, I just mean that in terms of accomplishments and success and the way that they think and the way that they go about doing things, I just don't think you ever lose that the generation that's coming up behind you never lose that well, they can't do it like I did, and I don't want them to accomplish the things that I accomplished. To get to their level, those two specifically, I think you have to be wired that way, to always look at an up-and-comer and be I'm going to try to fuck with him a little bit.
I agree with you. And then I think the difference between a personality trait would be, are you actually going to say that in public, or are you going to just, let yourself believe that? Because that's where Jack loses me a little bit, where TBD with Tiger will do that too to the younger players, when he's, when he firmly ages out and he's not playing anymore. But I agree with you in terms of that like mental shift and click of like, no, I will never be beaten. I do think that mentality is similar between the two.
Lurch, you're approaching a bit of a Matt Every situation with the sun appearing on like kind of half of your face. And I'm wondering how much it's going to affect you going forward through the rest of the show.
He seemed unfazed by it there for a while.
Right in your
I was
eyeball.
surprised. It was phasing me, I think, more than it was phasing you.
No, it didn't. I didn't even really notice it, if we're going to be honest, which is like maybe I'm blind out of my right eye, but
Laser focus.
yeah.
Laser focus.
But I will say now that sunlight's gone, I feel much better. So
Okay, good. I'm glad.
could be the juice cleanse.
So Colin Morikawa, we're on the subject, kind of a shocking blowing of a 5-shot lead. He shot 76 on Sunday. I think he shot 41 on the front 9 after pretty much being lights out the entire week. He had such a sick sand save on the 18th hole on Saturday to kind of hold and keep his 5-shot lead going into Sunday. He's methodical. He's a machine. He's so consistent. You know, he's mature. We talk about it a million times. We've had him on the show 3 times. We've done a bunch of videos with him. We're always impressed at how mature that man is. And he goes out there and proves pretty much that anybody at any moment in the game of golf can be vulnerable. You can be lost on a golf course. I think he shot, 64 or something on Saturday and then shoots
he was 8
76 on Sunday, which is, a solid 12-shot swing. So a little shout out to all the haters who were like, there's no way you can shoot this when you're actually shooting 86. Like if Colin Morikawa can have a 12-shot swing from Saturday to Sunday, we can have a 30-shot swing from Saturday to Sunday when we play golf. So it kind of makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Obviously, it's the fucking Hero World Challenge. It's Bahamas. I think Spieth said that he thought it was actually a charity event. So I think the fact that he's out there, blowing leads isn't as concerning if it would be in a major championship or something.
Did Spieth say that after his round though? Because
they hit from the wrong tees. He's probably just
that had to be after Sunday where he was like, yeah, I thought this was a charity. Like I can't see him saying that on Saturday before the tee foul up.
He had a funny him and Henrik did like a little press gaggle thing afterwards, and he did say, I was surprised they penalized us because we thought this was a charity event. Which was
how does that happen? How do you hit from the wrong tees? Isn't there people kind of ushering you in the right direction? Like it falls less on them and more on just like, where do we go? Where are we teeing this thing up?
Dude, I don't think that there are people. Like, it sounds like there's just not that, there's not that many people out there in general. And I looked at you could see the pit. They had a still shot, I think, of the tee that they had been using and they were identical. Like the tee markers hadn't been moved, right? So it's not like one tee box, I think, was like clear, right? The tee box that, like, in theory, the tee box that they ended up teeing off of should have just been cleared. Like, there shouldn't have been anything on that tee box, right? Like,
yes.
If when you go to a PGA Tour event or when you go watch the Masters, right? Like the members tee at the Masters doesn't have tee markers on it. Like there's one tee box that has the tournament tee markers on it. So clearly they teed off from a tee box that still had tournament tee markers on it, which seems a little bananas that they would allow that to happen. But yeah, they both got 2-shot penalty. I think Spieth ended up shooting like fucking 7 over or something. But again, I don't think they really cared that much.
Right. The article that I read was kind of funny too, because it said, Stenson finished, he shot X and then finished second to last place. But then when they talked about Spieth, they just said Spieth finished 20th. And 20th sounds way better when you just read that with a typical field. So it actually painted Spieth in kind of a funny, like, good light there. But their back and forth humor was great. Like, as soon as they found out the penalty, they were like, yeah, can we just go to the airport then? Like, can we just finish 19th and 20th and just go to the airport now? Like, I love their banter about the whole thing.
Yeah, I like the two of them. They should do like a stand-up show together or something. They seemed very comfortable there, taking questions about how ridiculous their day had been. I like the two of them.
Yeah, they were great. I like that. The tour needs more kind of shit like that. So maybe we'll try to get them on the show together. We'll put that on our agenda there. Some big news, PGA Tour and ESPN Plus are launching sort of a new significantly improved, I would say, PGA Tour Live starting in January 2022. There's a lot of kind of good information in here that we're going to get to. First, we got to talk about Boll and Branch, which is also going to be a new improved version of your bed, your sleeping situation. Every one of us on this show, I believe, has our beds covered in Boll and Branch. Is that correct, boys and girls?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Their sheets are just as good as it gets. Husband and wife team Scott and Missy Tannen founded Boll and Branch to create a new standard in bedding by doing things the right way, not the easy way. Boll and Branch holds themselves to high standards across the board, from sourcing pure organic cotton to putting workers' rights first. And it's not just their sheets that are made the right way. Their pillows, bath towels, robes are made phenomenal in the right way as well. Signature hemmed sheets are their all-time best seller. That's what we rock. They're beloved for so many reasons, like how they get softer with every single wash. And that is true. I know a lot of sheets, a lot of stuff that you used before, you wash them a few different times, they get kind of hardened. It feels like you almost wash a lot of the comfort and a lot of the quality out of them. Boll and Branch, they just get literally more and more comfortable every time you put them on. It's like when I went from kind of a immature moron who never wanted to wash my sheets. Now I wash them like twice a week because every time you do, they get better and better. I don't know how the hell Boll and Branch figured that out, but they got this on the copy. Buttery soft, lightweight, and made with a 100% organic cotton weave that feels incredible in all seasons. Buttery soft is nice.
It's different. It's a different way to explain your bed experience.
It's now sheets now are. It's one of the areas in my life where I feel like an adult, which is few and far between for me. Because in the past, sheets were sheets. What I probably had the same sheets for years, and then when I got Boll and Branch, I put them on there, and I couldn't believe that I've been living the way I've been living for the past 5 to 10 years.
Dude, I've slept in 2 different beds over the weekend, and then there was 3 different beds Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 hotels, and then I finally came home last night. And there is no bigger difference than laying from a hotel sheet that fucking who knows what's on that thing compared to when I came home to my Boll and Branch sheets. It felt like I was sleeping in a buttery cloud. I mean, makes the other hotels, which were nice hotels, feel like I was sleeping in sandpaper. The difference is indescribable.
They
did I just stop the show there?
No, I just felt like there was going to be more to it. Like
it's indescribable.
Usually with you there is. Usually
I can't describe it anymore.
You're right. You say something's indescribable, and then you give a long description of something.
That was incredibly concise. Buttery soft, right? That's what they got. Treat yourself and your loved ones to new standard in bedding from Boll and Branch. Their gift comes wrapped and ready in their special holiday packaging. Order by December 19th for guaranteed delivery by Christmas. Best deals of the year going on now from November 18th through, well, that can't be correct. November 18th through November 22nd. That can't be correct because those dates already happened. But use the code Fore, okay, at checkout, bollandbranch.com. That's BOLL and branch.com. Promo code Fore. Exclusions may apply. Make sure you order by December 19th. You will get guaranteed delivery. You're going to get yourself a great deal by using the promo code Fore at bollandbranch.com. So PGA Tour, okay, PGA Tour Live. And ESPN Plus, they're set to launch January 2020. 4 new streaming feeds, more than triples live coverage to more than 4,300 exclusive hours. All PGA Tour Live and ESPN Plus coverage will be available to ESPN Plus's more than 17.1 million subscribers. That's nice for me. I already have that because a lot of the NHL's on that. So here's a couple additions. Here's kind of the whole, I guess this is the general outlook, if you will. They're going to have a main feed, which is primary tournament coverage featuring the best action from across the course. They're going to have a marquee group, which is a new marquee group showcasing every shot from each player in the group, which we're used to. And then they're going to have more featured groups. So they're going to have traditional PGA Tour Live coverage of 2 concurrent featured groups, and they're going to have featured holes. So a combination of par 3s and iconic pivotal holes that'll basically show everybody that goes through. So they're going to have basically an additional featured group. They're going to have kind of a main feed, and they're going to have, I think, 4 featured holes, it sounds like, for each tournament. So we're just going to get a lot more coverage of PGA Tour golf from PGA Tour Live than we used to get, which overall, considering how much we and many others complain often about the availability of PGA Tour golf coverage, this is a very good thing, I would say, going forward.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'm sure
somebody who's lost their Christmas spirit in just an hour.
I agree with him, though.
The Islanders have fucking killed me.
Would you see a notification? You were this chipper guy saying, I'm in the Christmas spirit, and now you want to off somebody.
I'll be honest. I think our Christmas tree conversation really made things turn. But is this, like, all right, I'm reading all this, and I've read through it, and it sounds all good. The main takeaway, or my main question, is this giving us what we want? And I don't necessarily know if that answers that question. I hope that
Getting
it does.
closer, I think.
I would say it's closer, which is better.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. I just hope it's like, I mean, it seems pretty simple, the demands that we've basically made on this show. And I hope that we're moving towards a place where we can actually watch golf, which is, I think, what everybody wants. Watch the golf that's happening and potentially be able to watch the people we want to watch.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think that, like, I'm sure the costs are exorbitant or whatever. So they got to see that those demands are actually real, that actually people want to watch it at all times. Because it does make sense just from like a simplicity standpoint. It's like, no, I just want to watch the holes and I want to watch my golfers play and I want to watch them no matter where they are on the course. And that's been impossible to this point.
And as gambling gets bigger and bigger and bigger, the demand's going to be there even more.
And look, like our end goal that would potentially make us happy is we want to be able to pick at any moment any player in the field and watch exactly what they are doing at any given moment, no matter what. We want to be able to say, Kevin Kisner's in the field. I don't care if he's fucking 6 over. I want to be able to watch him and Dewey. I want to be able to watch them going through shot selections, hitting the ball. Where's the ball land? I want to watch them walk up to the fucking green. I want to watch Kisner read the putts. And I want to be able to do that with every player in the field. And currently, there are so many occasions where you cannot even watch the players that you want to watch. You have no option, none, zero. And this is going to get us a little bit closer. It's a few more feature groups. They're obviously going to highlight the bigger players. So it's not like, you know, the Max Homas, the Joel Damons, the Kevin Kisners, unless they vault themselves up in the top 10 in the world and start winning a bunch of PIP contests, they're still not going to be on these feature coverages all the time. But that is the end goal, right? Like when Frankie says, I'll believe it when I see it. When Trent says, like, is this really going to get us what we've been looking for? No, the answer is no, because, you know, any sport, if you're a St. Louis Blues fan or you're an in the last 11 Islanders fan, like you can watch every fucking game that your team plays. There's not going to be a power play that they have that you don't get to witness. Yet there can be a massive eagle putt that Kevin Kisner has that we just will never get to see. And that's fucking infuriating as golf fans.
Who is somebody that we can have on this show that can explain the logistics to us? Like, what's it going to take and how realistic is it to see every shot from every player? Because we always talk about in this show, we harp on and we say, you're not showing us enough golf, show us what we want to see and all that. Like, what's the flip side of that? Like, I just want someone to explain to us, what's it going to take and how realistic is it that one day we can see exactly what we want when we want to see it when it comes to a golf tournament? Because it has to be harder than we're making it seem. We're assholes. We're idiots. We're just like, show us every shot that we want to see right now. Make it happen. And there's got to be a lot more that goes into it. And I just want to know what that angle is and what side that is.
So much more. There's got to be so much more that goes into it. Bro, you got to think about the cost of the feed of every single golfer. Like, actually putting that out, right? Like, that costs money. Like, generating that feed out to a laptop and, like, going through servers and, like, making sure whatever we watch it on, it's going to cost them money to get it from that camera to our phone. So, like, we're asking them how many like 140 guys in the field, every single shot. Like, that means the technology behind when Kisner goes from hole 2 to hole 3, when I click on Kisner's name, they have to know to change the feed from the hole 2 camera to hole 3 camera just for Kevin Kisner. Right. All that work just for one guy has to happen for 18 holes for 4 days. And we want that across the whole field. I don't think it's physically possible.
Right, and we're largely unsympathetic to that side of it, and I just would love to hear.
Yes, we are.
I would love to hear what would all go into it.
I think the best way to do it would be you have your marquee group where you're going to show every single shot, which is what they're saying. And then you don't have player, like what Riggs was saying was like, you can click on Kevin Kisner and you just see him live. I think that's in this next 1,000 years, it's unrealistic. I think that they could have hole 1. Bro, I can never see them actually wanting to do that for 100-something guys.
Yeah.
I think they should go hole 1 through 18 and just those cameras are always live, 1 through 18. You just click on them. So, like, we have to do the math, or we have to do the searching on where our guys are at. And then you click on hole 17, and maybe they just have one camera on hole 17. But that guy is going to track, whether it's zooming in, and at least we can see a swing and where the ball lands. You don't have any audio, but, like, hole 1 through 8. Oh, whoa. Hole 1 through 18. I went to a Dan and Shay concert last night. My voice is a little cracky. That guy can fucking sing, Shay Mooney, man.
That guy's awesome.
We'll talk about that at the end, but I had a hell of a night last night in Jersey with Shay Mooney. They can easily just have 18 live feeds as if it's a security camera at a restaurant. Like Borelli's, we've got 15 cameras rolling. I can just click each room or each corner. You should be able to do that for all 18 holes, where at least we could see something going on. Doesn't need to have audio, doesn't need to have all the fucking gadgets. Just let us see the people going through the hole.
There's a gigantic gap between no golf and seeing just a little bit. Like right now, there's a game being played and like nobody's able to see it. It's crazy. So to the point that Frankie's talking about, if like and we're staying on Kevin Kisner, like if the cameras were connected one way to get them all the way to 18 holes and you could just click Kevin Kisner, that's just amazing. So I do think like the manual work of going
Masters
from hole
does
to hole.
Fucking Masters does it.
No, they don't have live. The Masters doesn't have live footage
of every guy. And now Riggs has made a point and he's frozen.
He can't defend it. He froze.
Yeah. But I would like
they store
don't do
it though. The
they
Masters stores it. Like you can watch it maybe 5-10 minutes after.
Yeah. He froze. No.
Keep saying what you were saying, Lurch.
But yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's like ever going to get to that point. Like, that little manual work of like being able to see the player, I think is amazing. And then also on like that pit plan to like stretch it out. I think the thing that is most interesting is when you actually like get closer to the player, how they're thinking through the course. I would love if they, for a couple guys that were, I don't know, the fringe of making big bucks, they know they're not going to make on the pit plan, but if they ever opened up the audio connection of constant monitoring from them on the first tee to the 18th, and you could just sign up for that and listen to everything that they went through, I think that would be the most fascinating experience to listen to of all time. To hear you like, not to say he would ever do it, but like a Harry Higgs and his caddy and his brother and just hear them navigate the golf course. I think that would be the best golf viewing experience of all time.
Yeah. And we want every shot from every single player, but the reality is the world just wants to see the best players, and there is a sense of like you don't deserve to be on the featured group until you deserve to be in the featured group. Like make it to the big show, almost like the guy who's finishing last in every single PGA tournament is essentially the guy in AAA baseball that like you barely know his name. He doesn't get any limelight, but he's not the fucking Mike Trout of the league, and he's just not going to get the cameras following him from the dugout to the fucking batter's box. It's just a reality situation.
Totally. But in that same effect, golf doesn't work that way of like their AAA player. Like if you're in the field, you have to have done something that's pretty damn impressive to get there on like a consistent week in a week.
But I'm saying week to week, there are 30 guys that have no chance. Like who the fuck would spend their money showing and showcasing the guys that are 15 strokes out going to the wrong tee box? You know what I mean?
But that to me feels like a crutch that the networks can use to not do anything. Like to say, if you want to be on TV, play your way up to the marquee group, then they can just be like, oh, we'll just show the people that, a large amount of people want to watch. I'd still like for them to try, and I know it's really hard, to try to get as many guys on a broadcast or viewing opportunities as we can get.
I mean, I think Frankie's point is like a good stopgap of like if we could ever get to that plan of there's, a couple cameras on every hole, which there really, I would assume, is anyways. And, a person doing maybe audio or no audio at all, but you could see, Kisner play hole 2. And then as soon as he's done, if you were interested, go to hole 3. And then you could blend that by basically pairing that with a PGA Tour app to, if you were doing something else, missed him, now he's on hole 6, you just click hole 6 and you could see each shot that he takes. I think like I would be interested in that. I don't think that's like a terrible idea to make that possible.
There's 18 live streams.
Yeah, but also they definitely already have the technology because as someone who like kind of does the social, anytime like let's just say like Taylor Gooch or someone like that makes a hole in one, there's a camera there. Or if someone like chips out from the fairway, there's a camera there. They're just not putting that feed out. because like they're going to put it on social. You see random people doing crazy shit every single week on the PGA Tour socials. You just don't see it on the actual broadcast. So it feels like the bodies are out there.
There's definitely cameras on every single shot, on every single hole. It's just, I think the manpower figuring out how to get it to all be one in one application or one viewing experience is virtually impossible. I just don't know that they could do it. It's the logistics behind it they have to be impossible, or else they would just do it, wouldn't they?
I don't know. I mean, it's a really good question. And I think that your point earlier is probably the answer, where it's like they know that not that many people are tuning in for 95% of the people that are in the field, but a huge number of people are tuning in for the 5 or 6 guys that they tune in for every week. So why allocate all this money for 95% of the field when it's not going to really generate much? Now, I think that they're, like as gambling and all that picks up, there's going to be more and more focus on the entire field, just like there's more focus on every NHL game. There's more focus on every, sporting event now because people have an interest and they are tuning in because they have money on the line. So hopefully that'll help more throughout the entire thing. I also looked, the tour in 2019, which was the last full, season, I guess, they did $1.53 billion in revenue. So I don't know what their margins are. I would imagine they make a pretty good amount of money. They keep it seems like every couple of weeks when the Saudis threaten to throw money at a league, that they just keep upping the PIP thing by $10, $50 million. FedEx comes in and they keep upping it by $10, $20 million that you win. So it just, again, feels like it's not the craziest obstacle of all time. And I guess it's good news that they're getting closer and closer to it. Whether you're refinancing credit debt or paying for an upcoming expense, Credit Karma uses your credit data to show you fresh personal loan offers that are personalized to you. Again, we've spoken a lot on this very show about recent purchases in our lives growing up as adults, trying to figure out where to allocate your money and make big purchases. A lot of times you need help with that. You need help with your finances. You need to try to become a mature adult with a good financial future, and all of those things are very, very important. Credit Karma will show you your approval odds so you can choose offers that you are more likely to get approved for and apply with more confidence. It's completely free and easy to sign up for Credit Karma account with no effect on your credit score. Again, that's no effect on your credit score, making it simple to search for the right personal loan for you. Once you have a loan, Credit Karma can help you track your progress as you pay off your debt and even let you know if you can refinance and save money. Credit Karma, apply with more confidence today. If you're ready to apply, head to creditkarma.com/loan offers. You will see personalized offers with your approval odds right now. Again, go to creditkarma.com/loan offers. That's one word to find the loan for you. That's creditkarma.com/loan offers. All right, boys and girls, big day for us, obviously getting into it about Tiger Woods. It's just exciting. The whole future of it is exciting. It just brings a whole element that we didn't even really know we were missing. It was like he was so down and out. He was largely just off the radar. He popped up here and there in pictures, but now he's so fucking on the radar that he's hitting golf balls in red and black during the Sunday tournament that he's not even playing in. It's very exciting. And it's December, so we got holiday cheer, trying to keep Frankie positive, which he started the show positive. He started the show with good Christmas cheer in his heart. Frankie got him going, or Trent got him going on trees. So we're going to try to keep all that positivity going into the entire week and being pumped about Tiger Woods.
If you had to put a number on it percentage-wise, and I feel like I know what all of our numbers are going to be, Tiger playing in the PNC, I'm at a firm 100 triple digits. Yep. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. What is your percentage that he plays Augusta?
Ooh, man. We asked this question a couple weeks ago, and I feel like my number was really low. It has certainly changed now, but
mine has changed dramatically. I'm going to say 95% chance he plays the Masters.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I think I was the highest one, maybe at like 66% last. I wasn't that high, but everybody else was low. I mean, just an insane amount of things have happened in the last, 7 to 10 days.
And here's what I would add to that is that I think like 95%, I think it's a way higher percentage chance he plays the Masters than plays the U.S. Open because of all the things that come in with the Masters. Like, I think it's just so conducive to what he does. It's controlled. People can't just run around with cell phones. It's way smaller and again, like more confined. Augusta runs it however the hell they want to run it. They can protect Tiger Woods. He can, in terms of inside the ropes, there's almost no one's allowed inside the ropes. Whereas at these other events, it's a lot more chaotic. So I just think he's had a history of returning at the Masters after the entire, situation, 2009, 2010. His first return back was the Masters. So I just think that it's 95% for me now, not even based on timing. Just, I think that all things considered, that he's going to play that tournament. That's right.
Yeah. And I guess if my number's going to be higher, which it is going to be, why wouldn't it be almost as high as you can go? Like everything that's changed in the last week has led me to think that he's going to play, and he's going to play relatively soon. So why would he not play in the Masters? I actually, the more we're talking about it, the more we're thinking it through, I'm probably up there with Riggs.
Yes.
I'm going to say 75% that he plays the Masters. The reason why I'm leaving 25% doubt is because I think with something as serious and as important as the Masters, he will go through and be very diligent about his decision with that, as opposed to the PNC. He's driving a cart at the PNC is a huge difference. He's playing with his son. They're playing alternate shot, whatever the fuck they're doing at the PNC. I think with the Masters, he's going to be like, we tried. It's just not time yet. Like we're gearing up for St. Andrews, something like that. I could see that much more a possibility than him saying, I don't want to play in this little father-son event with my son. Like that, we could play in the PNC with our shitty bodies and Lurch's spaz backs and stuff. Like there's nothing about the PNC that has anything to do with being healthy. The Masters is his reputation on the line, and like him as a golfer, how we perceive Tiger Woods. He's not going out there if he's going on a knee again on like hole 11 or whatever happened to him, which we don't like to talk about.
I guess what's changed the most for me is if you had asked me before that video, the Making Progress video came out, I would have said, man, Augusta feels like it's right around the corner. But now, after this last week, in terms of the Tiger Woods timeline, April to me feels like a long way away, like a long time to practice, to strengthen that knee, to do the things that he needs to do to be prepared for that tournament. So the shift in that timeline, although the time has stayed exactly the same, feels much different to me.
Do you think he plays in any tournament prior to the Masters? Do you think he has to play in a tournament prior to the Masters for him to play in the Masters, or will you still be 95 to 100% confident that he plays without playing in a tournament?
No, I don't think that's going to affect my percentage. I think he would like to. I think like in an ideal world, he can get one tournament in before the Masters. But again, I don't know that he's willing to go out there, right? Like Bay Hill, he's obviously won fucking 8 times or whatever he's won there. But that's pretty chaotic. They're in Orlando. There's fucking people all over the place. Like it just seems a little bit too crazy. Same with the Honda. Like the Honda's in his hometown. He could just sleep at his house and play the Honda. But the Honda's got like the bear trap. It's almost similar to the Phoenix Open. It's like people getting shit-faced and screaming. And like, I just could see him, even though he'd like to get some reps in, as he likes to say, I could see him just holding off, starting at Augusta. It's as controlled of an environment as you could possibly play in. He's shown up before with no game and finished top 5. He can spray the ball a bit off the tee, and I just could see him showing up and deciding to make his debut there.
It's an exciting conversation. It gives even Frankie just gave out a spot, which is the first time in an hour. Frankie actually just made a great point about PNC playing the whole thing. Frankie's first 2 words, I just watched the movie Inside Out again, and you reminded me of the person's sadness out of the gate, but then you actually made a bunch of great points. But either way, Merry Christmas. It's a great conversation. We're just in a better spot than we were 10 days ago.
What a Merry Christmas in there.
Well, I mean, think about how good this is. This is a gift to everybody. We talked about Tiger Woods under the tree last time of just like, I mean, this is
I've never heard a Merry Christmas used in that way.
In that tone? Merry Christmas.
So anyway, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Tiger Woods is looking good.
Doesn't Chevy Chase say that during his like crazy rant? He just says Merry Christmas in the middle of it. That's what it felt like to me, but in a far more positive light. But I'm with you. It is going to be a Merry Christmas because I don't think any of us thought we'd be having these conversations, certainly not 9 months ago or even a month ago. So it's all things are positive in the Tiger world.
Well, Merry Christmas, Lurch.
Yeah.
Thanks. You too, boys. Hit it hard.
We'll be back on Thursday. As always, we're going to announce the winners. We're going to have a new episode of the Foreplay band and travel series. We're going to have all kinds of good stuff, holiday cheer. So Merry Christmas.
Jake Bass looks like he wants to say something.
I want to hear. I have to edit the podcast and all that. So like I don't want it to go long. I want to hear Frankie's story about Shay Mooney real quick.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about where you were last night?
Oh well, yeah. So Shay Mooney, friend of the podcast, we went to go see him in Milwaukee. Oh, Lurch just left. We went to go see him in Milwaukee when we were at the Ryder Cup. It blew our minds away. We always knew that Shay Mooney was a big star. That's why we had him on the podcast. We never knew, or at least Trent and I didn't know, the level of his fans and the fandom of Dan and Shay. I mean, he sells out arenas like that. I mean, 18,000 screaming women going nuts at every single song he
My
sings.
biggest takeaway from the Dan and Shay Milwaukee concert, and I like Dan and Shay a lot. I know the hits. I listen to the hits. You know more about them than I do. But then when we went to that concert in Milwaukee, the thing that my main takeaway was that not only does the fans in attendance know the hits, they know the words to every single song that comes on. And I know maybe that shouldn't be so surprising because they're at a Dan and Shay concert, but every single word to every single song that was played was screamed by 18,000 people in that Milwaukee arena. And I was so impressed.
Well, they've somehow found a lane to that so that every single song they sing is catchy. I don't know how they've done it. They're extremely talented individuals, but so he had mentioned that he was coming to New Jersey. Another interesting fact about their tour, every single stop on this tour had been postponed because of COVID. So he was telling me that like it's crazy that all these people kept their tickets, rescheduled their lives. Because when you buy a ticket to a concert, it's expensive, and then you have to like set that date, usually do it months in advance, and then all of a sudden they have to do it again for all those people. So logistically it's a nightmare, but the fact that they sold out all these cities across the country is insane. Anyway, I became a huge Dan and Shay fan. I love their music. I think that's just really easy to listen to. It makes you feel good. And actually, when I got engaged, we played, like, when we were walking down one of these things at the Vineyard, Glad You Exist by Dan and Shay played. So it was a big moment. And then that night, he FaceTimed me to, like, congratulate me and then thank me for using the song because he had found out. So he's like, when we come to New Jersey, you got to bring you and your fiance.
Awesome. Crazy.
You and your fiance have to come to the show. So we went last night. He's texting me like crazy, being like, dude, like this is fucking unbelievable. I can't believe you guys are coming. Like bring your friends. So we brought our friends Marissa and Rob, and they got married to a Dan and Shay song. Like their wedding song was a Dan and Shay song. So he's texting me 10 minutes before the show starts, being like, I hope, like, let me know if you get in. Sometimes these venue people don't understand like how to leave tickets at the door or whatever. I want to make sure. Dude, he got us a suite and then also floor level tickets. So we were bouncing back and forth, getting food upstairs, going down, being first row on the pit. And he sings the best songs of all time. The way his voice is outrageous. I don't know how he doesn't lose his voice. Like when I watch an Islander game, the next week my voice is gone. I don't know how he does city to city, screaming at the top of his lungs, singing.
Does he just
songs.
not talk from like fucking 10 p.m. until 7 p.m.?
He must just have the strongest like muscles in his throat of all time, like vocal muscles. So then the show ends and we had the time of our lives. Rob and Marissa were crying during their wedding song. We got an amazing video of them like dancing to their wedding song with Shay Mooney 3 inches away. We were first row. It was nuts. And so right after the show, I'm like, I'll send him a text thanking him. I'm like, hey man, thanks for everything. And he goes, where are you? I'm talking. He walked off the stage at 10:25, 10:26. I have a text message from him being like, where are you? He goes, I'm sending a guy out for you right now. Walks us through the New Jersey Devils like locker room. This guy's like, it was like the whole experience of walking through the back of the stage, seeing all the set people. And then we just walk outside and all these tour buses are in the back. I'm like, you're not taking us on this fucking guy's bus. Brings us on the bus. He couldn't have been a nicer guy. It was our first time meeting him in person. He's there just hugging everyone, looking at Hannah's like ring and the whole thing. He's telling us stories about how he got engaged and telling us stories about the tour and how like his bus used to be Taylor Swift's bus. And there were all these things on Taylor Swift's bus, like this one trophy case that lights up, and Taylor Swift used to put all of her trophies on the bus and they'd light up. And he's like, yeah, turn that knob there, Rob. Like he remembered everyone's name, texted me after being like, that was the most amazing experience meeting you guys. Thank you so much. He's just an otherworldly nice dude. Arkansas guy, like Southern. He lives in Nashville. It's just like the whole vibe is so fucking awesome. And it made me feel like I was in a movie. Like just going front row and then seeing the guy we just watched rock the fucking people's face off and then seeing him just chilling there drinking a beer right after. And talking to us. Like, we were like, yeah, we just watched you for the last 2 hours to like melt people's faces off, and now we're talking about we were eating pizza and drinking like Trulies. It was nuts. It was fucking
That's
crazy.
incredible.
So
That
yeah,
guy's the
really,
man.
really,
He's just the man.
There's no describing how nice this guy was, and it was, and what made me happy was we experienced a lot of crazy stuff in this job. We meet a lot of famous people, a lot of celebrities, a lot of singers, all this stuff, and it blows our minds, which to some people think it's a fault of ours, where they're like, you guys are fanboying. And I always say, man, I love you guys, and I love working with Barstool, and I love like all of my coworkers, but sometimes I'm like what would my buddies and like my friends from home think if they were experiencing this with me? Like they're always seeing me on Instagram and me texting, and it's almost like I'm gloating, and I always feel honestly embarrassed by it, where I'm like, you guys wouldn't believe this shit. And I got to bring like Rob and Marissa there, and it was like watching them live like they're just like they just have regular jobs, and like watching them be able to go backstage for like their favorite artist and meet the guy, like they were like shaking and in tears, and it was such a cool moment to be able to see that, because I feel like sometimes like it almost feels almost too normal at some point.
You could
like,
be numb to it a little bit, like
For
you
sure.
get a little spoiled.
Yeah, and like I don't ever want to get like that. So seeing that last night, like we were all fucking like holding hands, walking to the fucking.
Plus, it's like that when they're
bus,
so
being-
cool. Like when Shay, like when he's such a cool guy, it like disarms you and makes you feel like he's just one of your buddies.
We walked to the car, arm in arm. All four of us walked to the car, arm in arm, like having a group hug, being like, can you believe that just happened? And all it is was we just met a dude who thinks he's our buddy now. You know what I mean? It was so fucking cool. Just the coolest experience ever. And yeah, I love sharing that shit with people. It's like, it made me like so happy last night. And it was so easy for him. He's the easiest, coolest guy of all
I like
time.
when you're happy, Frankie.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Yeah. Thanks. And then the Islanders. I mean, the Islanders lost in a shootout.
All right.
While I was at the concert.
Let's end on a positive note. Everybody, Merry Christmas. We'll be back on Thursday. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.